Hello, friends. Welcome in. Hello, hello. It is an early Wednesday stream because stuff is happening. How is everyone? We like stuff. I like stuff too. Stuff can be kind of cool sometimes. Oh my goodness. How we doing? How is everyone? We're going to start off the day. Well, we're going to start off this shorter stream by first going over the quality of life part 2 preview that we have not gone over yet. It released when I wasn't live. So we'll go over that. And then later at 3 o'clock, we are going to be watching the Kinetic Publishing Showcase. Kinetic Publishing Showcase. The first one of its kind. Maybe things? Yeah, maybe. We shall see. Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. How are we? Hello. Hockey, good to see you. What's up, Astroc? Astra, hello. Ari Dawn, Bomber, Ethereal, Madam Wolf, hello. What's up, Amy? Lucas, welcome in. Fear, thank you for the 25 months. Oh my goodness. Oh, too much. Callie, thank you for the biddies. Wow, thank you for the 3-month prime. What's up, friends? Good to see y'all. I will be live later. I will be live later tonight for our normal stream. Originally, we'll see what happens. Originally, the idea was that we would play Peak later tonight. I don't know if that's still going to happen or not. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. Maybe, maybe not. No, the showcase starts at 3. Yeah, I got to go live before it starts. At 3. Get him at 3:30. Oh. Hold on. Gosh, no, you're okay. 4:30 could be close, but I could. Unless you mind, don't mind getting him at 3:30. I know it's just annoying because of where they live in the middle of nowhere. Well, because it's going from basically like 3 o'clock to like borderline pushing to 4. So then it would be like basically end it and then just take off running. Okay. You let me know. Are you sure? Use what? Because if he wants to be there longer, then I'll just make sure that I'm out the door by 4:10. Yeah. Okay. Later. I'm not worried about that. We can just sit there and talk, hang out, whatever.
Sorry, chat.
She's not sorry. She wants to have a full blown.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, that's great. Want me to stop so I can put them together? She just flipped me off. It's like, oh shit. It's like, oh, you're live. Hold on. I'm good. I'm good. How's it going? We're discussing picking up the middle child from his friend's house time wise. So I've got to make sure that we're like that I'm out the door by X time to get to him. So we'll be good. Tell me I'm number 1. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Magic, thank you for the 18 months. Whiplash, thank you so much. What's up, Fear? Good to see you. Hello. Ay. Okay. Well, let's do the things. Phoenix, Mernin friend, how are you? We might as well just go ahead and start looking, dude. We got some stuff to look at. Let us see. Hemlock, thank you for the year. Jocelyn, thank you for the 27. Thank you for the resubs, friends. Hello. No, she did not. No, I heard her come in. Yeah. She thought I was starting like at 3 when I was talking about the showcase that was happening today. Yeah. Hey, cousin Tony, good to see you. Dorito, hello. I know. Crazy talk. No, he's going to go visit a friend he doesn't get to see super often, but they're like really, really good friends. So we want to allow him to have as much time as possible to hang out with his friends without fart sounds. Nightfall, good to see you. Hi, Time. A showcase, I see. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. Time, how are you, my friend? I don't know what that's going to be like today. We have been given zero information as to exactly what they're going to be showing today, outside of just knowing what the Kinetic Publishing, what the whole thing behind Kinetic Publishing is, and there being a showcase today. We have not been given any other information about that. So we'll see what's going on. I don't know. Oh no, long story short, Kinetic Publishing, it's a way for them to help out others, to help out other studios, upcoming games. So it should be, I'm assuming we'll see a bunch of games in the 30-minute run that we get. But that's the only information we have. If there's any other information that has been given out, well, it hasn't been given to everybody, and it's going to be interesting. Clear the rest of the schedule to watch the stream. What the hell? Ay caramba. Night Gamer, if you want to give me games to play, you're welcome to put them in the Discord to suggest. I'm not going to remember them if they're in chat. Memory, not here. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Make sure to put them in the Discord, dude. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. First, we're going to start off by looking at the Quality of Life Part 2 preview, because I haven't seen it. Well, I've seen it, but we haven't looked at it together. So we'll see. Is it like an indie company becoming a full-blown thing? I'm not 100% sure. We'll look at it. We'll go look at the showcase, the publishing stuff here soon. After this, we'll do this first, and then we'll go look at that page, and then at 3:00 they're going to be streaming, and we're going to co-stream. So that's the idea. The idea was that we would go live early to talk about this and just hang out for a bit, and then at 3, if not a little bit sooner, because their stream will start a little sooner, we will go into that category, and we will pull up their stream, and we will all listen together. Yeah, Jemima Wood, hello. Amy, think of it the 4 months. Battle Corgi, think of it the 33. Sound good? Sounds good. Is that what they did for Alan Wake? No, Alan Wake has been an IP for a long time. Yeah, that was them joining forces together to make an event. That was not them doing publishing and helping them in that sense. You know what I mean? Are there drops coming up? We will get there. The answer is yes, there are. We will get there. I am streaming tonight, Courtney. Yeah. I'm not a Ure. Hey, you don't know. I got a door right there. Time. Dang. Are you not able to go live? Yeah, we'll go over it later. Let's go over this first. Let's go over the quality of life stuff. And then after we're done that, then we will go look at the publishing stuff that's coming out too. All right. Just to give you a heads up as to what there is, this is what we have to look forward to. There's some good stuff in here, man. There's some really good stuff in here. And we'll go over all of it. Okay. Phasmophobia has come out with the Quality of Life Part 2 preview, and we are going to look over all of it. What is coming up? We know that there were 2 Quality of Life updates coming, one that was coming in July and one in August. We now have a date for the one in August, and we now have all the information as to what's going to be included, or for the most part, what's going to be included. So let's go over it. Welcome back, Ghost Hunters. Thank you, everyone, for the warm reception for our first Quality of Life update last month, and we're glad to see many of you enjoying Phasmophobia once more. Today, as promised, we're sharing details on the upcoming second Quality of Life update for Phasmophobia. We'll be releasing this update across all platforms on August 25th of 2026. So literally this month, we are getting the second Quality of Life update. Okay? August 25th. Mark the calendars. Exact release times are still to be confirmed, so keep an eye on our channels for official confirmation of when the update is live. I'm going to move it over to some like lo-fi or something, so that way we're not like having jamming music in the background. Okie doke. There we go. A little more chill. Can't wait. I can't wait either, man. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. There's a lot that's here, and we're going to go over all of it. Okay. Let's break down a couple of the features we're excited about before sharing the full list. The new restricted options. I think this is going to be probably one of the favorited things among this update that we're getting. For a long while, we've seen folks requesting smaller versions of our larger maps in the vein of Sunny Meadows Restricted. With this update, we're excited to introduce restricted versions for Prison, Brownstone High School, and Point Hope. So, no longer will you be forced to play the large versions of those maps when you just want to get used to it or try it out. People like the idea of Prison, but the map is a big map and it's hard to get used to, especially if you're playing alone. Well, now you can play the restricted version of Prison and still get the Prison vibes without having to worry about playing the entire map, which is super cool. Super freaking cool. Let's see what we have. And then they give us images to show different things. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this image is showing us. Rose, hello, friend. So, like, okay. So we can see on Point Hope what they've done. They've literally blocked off from the wine room. So we get the main floor, we get the kitchen, and the wine room, and then you can't go any further. Is that all there is for that? Oh, that's what that was. Oh, that's what that's to show. The truck being closer. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So they've moved the truck closer, I believe, on high school and prison. So that's what this is to show. The truck being closer. So it's not as far of a walk. But Point Hope, I'm kind of surprised that it only went to the wine room. That's a lot less rooms than I was expecting, dude. Way less. Interesting. So another thing to think about too is that with these restricted versions of these maps, we're also going to have changed cursed possession locations for the restricted versions. Because it's different when you have something like Sunny Meadows, because all the cursed possessions are literally in that chapel where it's available on every version. But these, you've got stuff like the music box and the monkey paw and the Ouija board. Like like all of those are above a certain point. So they now have to be moved lower. So we need to figure out where the restricted versions are going to be. Very cool. Oh, is that literally blocking the front? Oh, I'm just interested to see these in practice, like to actually get our hands on it. Literally forcing you to go to the right. Like you can't go here, you can't go here, it's over here, meaning that there's probably something in the hallway blocking you, like lockers or something like that. Yeah. Oh, so interesting. Locke, thank you for the 20 months. Thank you. Hey, Nocturne, good to see you. I feel like one or more two rooms would have been. I would have been okay with Point Hope having a little bit more. I would have been okay with that. Yeah, that we honestly thought it was going to go to like the bathroom, but like you get the main floor and then you get the kitchen and then you get the wine room and that's it. We're probably going to be flying through Point Hope now. Yeah. Now, Point Hope was a medium map, so this will be obviously small. Cursed possession locations would be changed there too, I imagine. Oh, absolutely. Yep. They'd be changed here. If you can't get into the middle area, then all of the cursed possessions have to be available down that side somewhere. Yeah. So that'll be cool. We'll see how that goes, man. But yeah, there's restricted versions for all of them. And the truck being closer as well. You notice how the truck is now backed up to here. It's no longer to the side, like all the way over here. So that's even closer, which is nice. Someone's going to ask it. Do you think we can still do the Point Hope Easter egg without being able to go up to the top to do the part that is needed for the Easter egg? Probably not. You do get the bathroom at Point Hope as you walk in the front. Okay, but that's obviously not the bathroom I'm talking about. We're talking about the bathroom that is when you go vertical. I'm not saying like, oh man, I don't have a place to go potty. I'm saying we don't have the bathroom that is above the game room. That's what we're saying. Are we going to throw our EMF into the pool table? I don't know. We just aren't, and we're just going to have to be sad. Yeah, that's what. As long as we can go potty, that's all that matters. Get to the back room. Speaking of the truck, have you thought about there are 3 seats in the front, but there can be 4 people playing? Well, yeah, you just force them to sit in the back with all the equipment. We're not saying this is a legal operation here. Yeah. Okay. As with Sunny Meadows, these map variants are designed for quicker games and locations that we know players enjoy, but sometimes don't want to be investigating a larger area, mainly because of time. Seriously, not time tell, because of time. Hi, Rose. In the case of Point Hope Restricted, which will be classed as small, ghost hunters will be able to access up to the dining room, while Prison and Brownstone High School will have multiple variants, classed as small and medium, respectively, which will be randomly assigned upon loading into the contract. Just like Sunny Meadows Restricted, you don't know which one you're going to get. You load in, it could be either one. The Point Hope Restricted, it sounds like it's pretty set in stone. You get up into the dining room and like the wine, and that's it. You can't go any further. Brownstone High School in particular will have a total of 4 map variants following the update. With such a big map, we believed it was appropriate to give a variety of variations, giving ghost hunters a sense of mystery when loading up. Outside each restricted version of the map, a small piece of environmental decor will signify which variant of the map you're on. Journal and evidence changes. We've made a handful of changes and improvements to evidence. We made a handful of changes and improvements to evidence collection with the first quality of life update, and we're doing the same with the second. As with all of our updates, we'll be looking for and reading through player feedback on these changes, so please do let us know your thoughts once you've spent some time with them. Since our Chronicle update last year, we've been working on finessing the unique duplicate system. A change we're introducing with this next update, there will now be a visual indicator to show that a piece of media a ghost hunter captured is a duplicate without the need to check the journal. To detect a duplicate, keep an eye out for the following indicators. Tier 1, the photo camera will display a yellow LED. Tier 2 and 3, the photo cameras and all tiers of video cameras will display a faded overlay rather than the usual bold white text. The Tier 1 sound recorder will lower the brightness of the volume indicators, and the Tier 2 and 3 recorders will display faded sound waves. So, when it shows up like this and it is faded and it is not bright and clear, that means you already have it and you don't need to go to your freaking journal to check and see if it's a duplicate or not. So we'll save you from having to do deletes, which would be obviously silly. Here you've got the motion sensor faded. This one you've got, I don't know. This one's a little harder to tell, I think, because I look at this and I'm not thinking like, oh, that's different than normal. I never use this sound recorder. I never use the tier 2. Always tier 3 or tier 1. So we'll see what happens. Another important addition in this update is being able to see other ghost hunters' evidence and ghost selections in the journal. This means there'll be no more need to double check with other players which pieces of evidence you've captured and see others' opinions on which ghost the group is dealing with. And of course, making sure everyone has the same selection when they're leaving in the truck. That's a cool one that I had no idea that they were going to be doing. So we will now be able to see, based on color, whatever the player is, what things they've crossed off, what things they've circled. Now you don't have to like compare notes without like looking at each other's papers. That's super freaking cool. I like that a lot because it's not that intrusive. It's really not. Just faded color versions of whatever one they are. Super freaking cool. I like it. Randy, think of it as a 5-month Prime, man. Had no idea that this was coming. No clue. I like it a lot. Super convenient. Elsewhere, we've replaced the keys section in the journal with the items we found section. Appearing in the order they are found, this will display collected items such as keys, the bone, the bone, and seasonal event collectibles. On the same page, a gender symbol will now be displayed alongside the ghost name, allowing for easier understanding of male and female names and ghost types, especially for non-English speaking players. So sometimes we get ghosties that we're not 100% if it's a male or a female ghost because the name can kind of go both ways. It's hard to say. Now you will know 100% if it's a male or female ghost because you will have the male or the female symbol right there. Jan, right. Some people look at that and think Jan. Fair frickin' enough. But now you will know that that's a male ghost because of the symbol. And Now we will have a bone indicator in the journal. Now, it said that the items found here, the list will be based on when you find them. So if you find the bone first and then the key, it'll just be in that order. Yeah. Does the gender matter? Absolutely it does, because there are two ghosts that can only be female ghosts, and that's the Banshee and the Dian. If you have a male ghost, it can't be them. Also, it's good to know because then you know what kind of ghost models you're going up against too. If you have a male ghost, as of right now, until they redo the ghost models, you 100% do not have a crawling ghost. If you have a female ghost, it could be. If it's the granny model or it's like the Rhonda model, then it's not going to be crawling, but it could be the small toothy kid. It could be Pam, and they crawl. So if you have a male ghost, that ghost is not crawling, which is super important to know because if you're looking over a table, you want to be able to see the damn thing. Super useful. Super useful. As somewhere the gender neutral name, I applaud this edition. Yeah, it's a good one. This is this again, quality of life. I dig it, man. I dig it. Leslie was actually the only name for male and female. What? Leslie was actually the only name for male and female. What do you mean? The only name that could be male or female? Petition to change the mayor to be male only. Dad complaining about the lights. Yeah. I'm confused by what that is suggesting. Well, yeah, I think many of us are confusion. Are you saying that in the game it literally would switch between that was the only unisex name? So you're saying that Leslie inside of the game could be either male or female? Is that what we're saying? Because I don't know of any name in the game. Leslie could be both. Do we have verification of that? Or is that an assumption? I would also like sources. Agreed upon. Lavender told me, oh my God. Wonder if seen other players' entries in the journal will work for dead players as well. I would assume yes. I don't see why it wouldn't. Like, if you're a dead player, you should still see the journal getting marked. I would assume so. The Phasmo name list on Wiki. All right, hold on. Let me see. I like to verify things. Let's see. Because if that's true, that's good information to have. Because then it will matter with the male and the female marking. No, the wiki is not run by the devs. The wiki is a fan-run website that is not monitored by the developer of the game. So what I could do, I could just go ask Kinetic Games themselves. Let's see. First, let's verify it here. Flash has time today. Well, you know, it only takes a minute or two to see sources and verify things. I don't think it hurts anything for us to give it the old look-see doodle. Let's see. Oh, look, possible male names. Literally, Leslie is not here. So according to the wiki, where exactly? When I checked this list about 3 weeks ago, Leslie was the only name for both genders. Well, let's see the last time they updated this. I could probably ask one of them to give me a change log of whenever they changed this so we know when it was changed. Do you have proof that 3 weeks ago it showed both names in both lists? Why would they change this? Why would they go in and change that? Nothing has changed in the last month. multiple months with these names. Why would they all of a sudden change it? Didn't take a screenshot. Is it possible that you're incorrect? Because I mean, I know people that help with the wiki. I could just ask them when they've changed this. Unlikely, since I'm obsessed with this game and I know everything about it. Oh, no worries. Then I will, give me a second. I'll message them right now so that way they can give me their change log so I know when the last time they changed this was. Easy peasy. Ask Wiki. No, I'll ask the people that actually change it. Give me a second and they'll give me the information. I like having correct information, so let's verify. Hey, what's up, Ribs? Good to see you. We have time too. The thing doesn't start until 3. Maybe it was 4 weeks ago, but not much longer. No, I'm just wondering if it ever changed. Yeah, I'm wondering if it literally ever changed. Hey, Camp, good to see you. Because you're saying you're 100% certain about it. I asked if you're possibly wrong, and you said no because you're obsessed with the game. I like the confidence, but if that's incorrect, I mean, I guess just mark it down as another case of like, please verify everything you do. The new peak map is something else. By something else, do you mean Phoenix? I feel like if you liked it, you would say you love it, but you didn't say that. Trains, oh hey, how are you? What's up, dude? Because if it can go both, then I'm curious why all of a sudden there was a change and we didn't know about it. Phoenix got to the top. Then what didn't Phoenix I love it. Oh, for a peak masochist like myself, it's great. Oh, cool. Great. So for the rest of us, we're just gonna really hate it. Let's see. Let's see. So in the Discord, at least, so here's information that I'll go through and give information about. One of the moderators, again, this is not Kinetic Games. One of the moderators had commented to somebody else and said Leslie is the only gender fluid name in Phasmo. But again, this is a moderator, so this isn't, you know. Like people ask apparently all the time. Oh, here's more. Actually, oh, wait, hold. Oh, cool. This was never responded to by Kinetic Games. Awesome. Do they mean the surname or the first name? They're talking about the first name. Yeah, they're talking about the first name. They're not talking about surname. Yeah. The names got me because I was in a hurry and read Eddie and Eddie. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Ducks asked about it at some point. And it was never responded to, which is really unfortunate. Okay. Let me keep looking. All right. Well, I'm going to ask them directly because they're not responding. Oh, wait, here we go. I got a response. Hold, please. Not tripping, I swear. No. Let me verify. trying to figure out how to word this to him. Trying to figure out if there was a change. Okay. We have somebody on the case. We have somebody on the case. What's up, Dio? Good to see you, man. So we'll figure it out. Whenever I get more information, I will make sure to say something about it. Jan is the one that always confuses me because I always think Jan, as in Janet. Right. Yeah, I think the first time I got that, I was confused too until somebody told me. Actually, hold on. We might have even more information. Sorry for the delay. I just like to verify stuff. In the meantime, how about that soda? There is no soda. Get out of here. You get the hell out of here. Just finished an Easter egg on Black Ops 3 Origins. Cool. Trust me, bro. Yeah. Sincerely appreciate the fact checking. Of course. Of course. I want us to all have the correct information. Of course. I think there's a possibility for me to actually see the edit history. Dio, thank you for the biddies. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. What do you mean there's no soda? We don't drink any sodas today. No. We're safe. We're in the clear. We're fine. Use the Wayback Machine. You could technically, but I think seeing the edit history of the page would be way more reliable for sure. And I think there is a way to see it. I just don't know what that is. So we will see. Because there's contents, you can edit, you can sign in. I bet there's a way to see. Also, that would just be good to know for the future in case I want to look at. Oh, actually, hold. Oh, I can see the edit history. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Is it possible for me to see what they changed? Wonder what they'll say. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm interested if it's an old version or not. Ghost names. You don't just drink them for fun? Not usually. No. Not typically. No. Now there have been changes to the page. I just am trying to see exactly what they've changed. Type of ghosts, characteristics, evidence, type of ghost, evidence. That's what I'm trying to see. But you could. Yeah, you could too. How about that? What's up, DP? Good to see you. We're still good on time. We might come back to this later. That might be the move. Because right now I can't understand what I'm looking at necessarily when it comes to seeing the history of the page and what I'm looking for. I'm not really sure. We'll look at that later. Let's look at that later. Okay. Anywho, back to where we were. So super cool that we're going to have the ability to actually see the bone in the journal now. You're not going to have to ask if somebody picked it up, even though we all still probably will. But now there's a guarantee, yes or no. It is no longer a question if we have picked up the bone or not. Thank goodness. Eventually that's going to leave though when they do the conduit stuff. That will go away. But for now, it's fine. VR improvements. With this quality of life update, we're completely replacing the VR character rig across all platforms. This means more responsive movement in line with your own body, improved accuracy of the character model to match players' arm length, as well as the overall improvement to the visual of the character model when playing with VR users. We're also addressing several regularly reported issues from VR players, which we'll detail in the full patch notes at release. As with other areas of Phasmophobia, please do let us know if any of your, let us know any of your feedback you have from your time in VR or any issues you've encountered. So I'm eventually going to play VR again. I promise. It's just trying to get my VR to work with it. I might not have the best VR to do this. I have a Quest 3 that I've had for ages, so that might change. We'll see at some point. Gameplay improvements. Finally, for today, we've just wanted to dive into some of the changes coming to the gameplay of Phasmophobia. Firstly, we'll be implementing the ability to select the ghost type for any custom difficulty investigation. You are going to have the ability to pick what ghost you're going up against. You'll find this in the ghost settings when setting up your game, as you can see in the screenshot below. So obviously this gives you a 0 multiplier. This gives you a 0 multiplier for the game. You're not going to make any money, but it does allow you to mess with the ghost and figure things out and test it. In Steam what? You're at odds with this? I like it. It doesn't hurt anybody. Stops trophies. It does stop. Well, so I think we're going to keep reading. This might say something about it. No, or maybe it doesn't. My understanding of this, it's going to make so many of the new ghosts easier to learn. Yes, it does. All right. Yes, it's going to make it a lot easier for sure. But can we get the demon achievement? Does it say it down here about that? Do they say it out loud here somewhere? It does. Where does it say it? Does it say it down here? Further down. Video, journal, keys, the ability to go to some multiplayer 0. Okay. Yes, it does. Custom difficulties with a 0 multiplier will no longer contribute towards any progress, such as achievements and leaflets. I think this is a bad idea. I understand it. That's fine. I get it. But here's a problem. When you put it, that means you can't do, and you can't get any achievement and you can't get any progress by putting it on Friendly Ghost. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, Mayor, I just got a screenshot from Zero. So what was it? Deadshot? Who was the one that was saying about the Leslie name being a possible male name and a female name? Was it Deadshot? Dead End. That's who it was. Yeah, they were 100% correct. It was you. You're right. Absolutely. I don't know when the, let me see. Because I just got a screen grab. I didn't get someone texting me saying like, yes, blah, blah, blah. No, I got a screen grab of what changes were made. And I can literally see that Leslie was a possible male name. Yeah. Yeah. So it depends on the model. Well, no, it's changed now. So now the change, it's no longer under a possible male name. It is only a female name. Was how to see the, oh, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I saw that too. It was just a matter of being able to go in and literally physically see the actual edit itself. Yeah. Very interesting. Oh, I know Leslie's in real life. I know a male named Leslie. Yeah. But what they were saying was they had noticed, which is crazy you noticed that. They had noticed that Leslie was a name that was under possible male names. And then all of a sudden, when you go to look at the wiki, it doesn't say that anymore. It just says it's a possible female name, but there's been no announcement of any changes with the ghost names. Leslie Nielsen. Yeah. Leslie Nielsen. Yeah. Immediately a name that comes to mind. Yep. So there you go. Absolutely correct. So good deal. Thank you for mentioning it. I wanted to fact check. I didn't want to just tell you you're wrong because I didn't want to be the ones like spreading false information. That is why the gender icon will be super useful. Yes, because you're not going to guess anymore whether you think it's a male or a female. But what they were saying, which is a really good point, was that Leslie was possibly male or possibly female, and it was literally the only name like that. I don't know why that even exists. Weird. Super strange. Silent, thank you so much for the 12 months, by the way. Thank you. The change was on June 10th. Data mine names. So in June, they just okay. Freaking weird. Anyway, back to the disappointment. Back to the disappointment of this. We'll come down and read all this information. This is information that is good to know with what we just read about the whole being able to set the ghost and all that stuff, that they're now making it where if you have a 0 multiplier, you can't get any achievements and get any games towards your leaflets like Tanglewood or any of that stuff on the event board. None of it will count unless the multiplier is above 0. Yeah. Yeah. Words are going to be said about that. I don't agree with that. I think that that's a bad idea. I think it helps nobody by doing that, in my personal opinion. So we'll see. We'll see. It sucks because that means now you can't, if you choose the ghost for the demon to get the demon ability, you can't do it that way. You have to still get it naturally, which sucks because that's a 100% RNG achievement, which is, yeah, not good. I've doomslayed already, but I can see why it sucks. Right. Let people grind away at it. Who cares? Anyway, back to good things. Let's see. Another change with this update is a change to character appearance upon death. As seen below, the dead body will now be seen with a grayer skin as well as misty eyes. Dead players will also appear this way to others while dead. In addition to this change, a player's voice chat will now be cut off as soon as they die, the moment their neck is snapped during the death animation. That is a pretty cool addition. Instead of just seeing what looks to be somebody passed out, very like visibly seeing like, oh, this player's now dead. I think that's good. I don't think we needed that change. I think it's great. If this did not require like a lot of hours for them to achieve this, I think that's awesome. What a great change. I love the screens before dying. No. What they're saying is as soon as your neck is snapped, it doesn't make sense that you're still screaming after the neck is snapped. That's what they're changing. They're fixing it to where you'll hear like there will be the choking sound and then your voice, your in-game voice will cut out once the neck is snapped. Yeah, it makes more sense. It's going to be, the cutoffs are going to be awesome. Sarah, thank you for the 3 months, man. Wonder what will look like when you bring them back to life. Great question. I think there should be some sort of indicator that you were brought back to life. Like, I don't know if like your skin is still like a pale skin, like you got scared to death kind of thing. I don't know. Dead men tell no tales. So this will be cool to see in game. We'll definitely be testing this one for sure. DK, oh my God, as the round goes on, you DK. Good Lord. Below, you'll find a list of all the new features coming for this quality of life update, as well as the changes section. At the release of the update, as mentioned, we'll share the full patch notes along with the list of fixes for known bugs and issues. We look forward to sharing this update with you on August 25th of 2026. So it is coming this month. This is basically a summary of what is happening. We've already seen some of this. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything, especially with what we just saw down there. Let's see, the journal, the keys. Added a new legacy badge section to the customization shop to allow you to edit your badge at any time, which is neat. This, which I don't think anybody's going to like, and a lot of people are going to say no, thank you. Added a hold use sticky note on the training whiteboards. Okay. Dead players. Okay. Unique video text for shower and fuse box interactions. Okay. Added unique video evidence text for shower and fuse box. That's more media. Added an icon to show whether a ghost name is male or female. Let's see here. When speaking, the speaker icon on AD cards will now function for all players, including local player. Improvements have been made to the VR character rig. Players can now interact with the spirit box that's not held when using, text voice recognition. Okay. I was like, we know that? Okay, never mind. Pressing use while holding a lit tier 1 igniter will now use another without having to wait for the animation to finish. When a player dies, their voice chat will now be cut off. The truck has been moved closer to the main entrance of Brownstone in prison, which is great. And the journal automatically opens on the evidence page if the player opens it when dead for the first time. Nice. So that means it's faster. If you die and want to try to guess the ghost correctly, then you can quickly get to that page. I think the ghost type is so we can learn about each ghost ability for new players. I think it is too. I think it is too. And I think it's an awesome thing that they're adding it, because then it gives us the ability to mess with these ghosts, especially if we're like, oh, I heard that this ghost can do this. Then we can go in and choose that ghost and mess around. It's just the whole, now they're adding this thing where no longer can you add to your leaflet or get any of the achievements if you're on a 0 multiplier. So if it's on friendly ghosts, you can't get it. So we'll see what happens, man. But overall, I'd say 90% of this, 95% of this is great. And the quality of life stuff is going to be awesome. I don't know if there's anything that is not listed here. I imagine there's going to be a few things we're not going to see here that is going to come out in the patch notes when the day comes. So I'm excited. I am excited for August 25th to arrive. So there's a very good possibility that on August 24th, I will be streaming this a day early. So just a heads up, keep your eyes peeled. I'll probably show this one day early. Okay. Groovy. It is 2:27. We are doing great on time. So now that we looked at the quality of life, now we can look at this. See, this is why I went live the time that I did. So we could just kind of boom, boom, boom. The duplicate one is great. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, remove the ability for us to accidentally take the same stuff. If you're not paying attention and you're taking images with the faded stuff, then sucks to suck. Happy for that. I get the demon achievement done by... Oh, you got the demon achievement done by accident. Nice. Very nice. You saw my name in here. So today, Kinetic Publishing is going to be doing their first ever showcase. So what that means, Kinetic Publishing, if you don't know what that is, it is basically a subdivision of Kinetic Games, where this is their way to help out growing indie companies, creators, and show off what they're working on, sort of to give a boost. You know what I mean? There's a lot of companies that have different publishings where they try to help out other people. This is one for them. The day is almost here. The first ever Kinetic Publishing Showcase takes place today, August 12th. During the half-hour show, we'll be highlighting the incredible developer teams from around the world we're working with to help bring their games to life. The showcase will premiere live on the official Twitch channel, which we will be watching here. Okay, so I will literally be showing it on this stream, right? Will be narrated by the official friend of Kinetic, Ben Starr. Be sure to tune in a little ahead of 8 p.m. to hang out with Ben, which we'll do here shortly. Keep him company and get settled in. The show itself will play twice, so if you do miss the first 30 minutes, you can always just stay there and watch the next 30, and you'll be fine. So if you don't quite make it for the start, no need to worry. It's also available on the YouTube channel from 9 p.m. BST. Official co-streamers. We've partnered with some incredible creators to help spread the good word. Below is a list of the official streamers for the Kinetic Publishing Showcase. So if you'd like to watch along with them in their communities, make sure to head to their channels. Wait a minute. Who the hell is that guy? So obviously we're doing it here. Now, another unexpected that we had no idea. We have a Twitch drop that's coming up because of this. Just because the showcase ends doesn't mean the celebrations do. As part of the festivities, we'll be running a limited time Twitch drop campaign for Phasmophobia this weekend. Tune in to any Phasmophobia stream for a total of 2 hours between Friday, August 14th, and Monday, August 17th to earn the Kinetic Publishing Black Cap. To earn Twitch drop rewards, you'll need to make sure your Twitch is connected, blah, blah, blah. If you haven't done so already, yada, 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 yada. If you guys do exclamation point drops on my channel, you'll be able to see the information. Since announcing Kinetic Publishing, we've been working behind the scenes on curating a diverse lineup of games. We're constantly blown away by the innovation and creativity, and we can't wait to share the incredible games and the people behind them with you. So we are going to go over to their channel literally right now and start watching. So great freaking timing. Great timing. It should be, let's see. Let's see. Okay. They have not started the live yet. They have not started it yet. Let's change our category. I think I need to be in special events, I assume. Let me make sure. People might have already asked this question. I think I know where I need to be. Oh, okay. I think they might still be a few minutes before they go live. I think. Okay. And then we'll do an official co-stream with them. We have ads. I'm going to go ahead and run the ads. So that way, hopefully by the time they're done and not long after, then we'll be good to go. That's not good. What? No. I think there's an allow list time to do the co-streaming stuff. I think you have to be permitted by them. I think you have to be permitted. I didn't see. Oh, I would double. Oh, time. If you signed up to be a co-streamer, you might want to double check with them. All right, I'm running ads, friends. 3 minutes. It'll be fast. Do you think they did the zero achievement thing so people, because people could choose demon and load? I guess so. I don't know. I don't know. Well, no, the demon thing has nothing to do with the 50 wins thing. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, Ethan, that's a really good point. The whole stopping people from being able to choose a particular ghost and then getting the leaflet stuff completed, that does make sense. Yeah, you're right. Because somebody could load in, they know what the ghost is, and then they get it correct. That makes sense. Right. So I could see them removing that. Not being able to get achievements. Also, I don't think it should be if it's a 0-time multiplier. I just think it should be if you choose your ghost, then you can't get it. Because if you're still playing on friendly ghost, like, you have to go and figure out what it is. You still have to figure it out. That doesn't make sense. So yes, that's a really good point, Ethan. That's a really, really good point. Yeah, very fair. So choosing the ghost, I think you should be able to get basically nothing from it. That's if they remove the ability to get the demon achievement because you're choosing demon, I guess we can get over it. I was hoping that they would allow it, but that's fine. Whatever. Coco, thank you for the 17 months. Thank you guys for the follows, by the way. Appreciate you, friends. Laura, thank you for the 6 months. All right. We're kind of on standby. We're waiting for them. We're also just running ads. We figure we might as well do this while we wait. And then the second that they go live, we will go live with them. Faz isn't on Twitch yet. Not yet. No. It will probably come out whenever they do the full release of the game, I imagine. There's a world where they change that. They do. Just saying. Well, I think there's already been some people that have mentioned, like, okay, well then why don't you just make it so friendly ghost gives you like a very low multiplier, but it's not 0. Yeah. You look thirsty, take a soda. No need. Still don't have the Doom Slate. It's annoying. It's rough. I had to work for mine, man. Mine did not come naturally. I had to spend a stream just going for it. I probably could have naturally gotten it, but I wasn't about to. Like 0.5 maybe? Yeah, just a really low multiplier. That's totally fine. Can I actually give you a plain black hat for only you? Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be neat. You can go for some ranch soda? I'll send you one. How about that? Gotten Doom Slayed about 4 times. I don't know. I don't know if I've been technically Doom Slayed outside of the one time we got it. I don't think so. All right. Ads are done. Welcome back, friends. Hello, hello. We are kind of on standby, just waiting for them to be ready. Waiting for them to be ready. Here, we can do this, though. Hold on. Here. This is what we're waiting on. I'm going to get jump scared as soon as they start the stream, though. Oh, I'm not following them. Whoops. Friendly Ghost can be great for new players to get used to the events if you make events hot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nobody saw that. Been Doom Slayed more times than I'd like to admit. Oh, Chinggis is going to get upset. Look, we're hanging out in 2 places. We're fine. We're just chilling. Is Doc live right now? He is. He's playing Grain Rod, it looks like. Yeah. We're just awaiting, man. We're just awaiting. Halogeno, hey, how are you? I thought I saw someone over there. Made some broth. What kind of broth? Still haven't gotten it? Oh, you'll get it. Just give it some time. Here, let's change the music back over to this so it's not so chill. Yeah. Where the hell? Oh, there it is. I feel stupid. No, don't feel stupid. No, Doom Slayed, it's an achievement. So Doom Slayed is when you get killed by the demon within the first 60 seconds of entering the map, but the ghost has to use its ability to kill you. The ability of the demon is for where it can hunt you literally at any sanity. So, yeah. What is the lo-fi playlist you use again? It's the Stream Beats lo-fi. Yeah, so it's copyright free. I'm not getting like nailed for it or anything. What'd y'all have for lunch? I had cereal because I had no time and I didn't want to make anything. I was like, this is fine. This will be fast as can be, and we'll be good to go. Yeah. Of course, Devil. Yeah, of course. What kind? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Some butter toast. Nice. I don't know what we're doing for dinner. I guess we got to figure that out. Another fun one to get is the Banshee bait. Oh, multiplayer? That is a good one to get. See, those kind of achievements are fun. Like, I don't know. Ones that like take a little bit more skill would be cool. Not necessarily ones that are just random. Like ones you really not. I mean, you could say the prestige ones are take more skill, but really that's just time. It's the over time you get it. It's not necessarily like you've got to get this down to be able to get it. I don't know. Give myself infinite sprint 100 sanity and kept running into the old Tanglewood until I got it. Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. I would do that on Edgefield because Edgefield, the door is closer. So it just saves you time in between hunts. Had Hoggogs. Oh my God. With some pancakes. The missus and I, we did a impromptu trip yesterday. We did an impromptu trip to New York, and we made it our mission to do a pizza crawl, followed by watching a show that night. And then we drove home, and we got home at like 1:30 in the morning. Closest I've ever gotten to getting Doom Slayed naturally is when I died to a demon 65 seconds into a match. Ooh. Is there a boner update? There's going to be one. Pizza. Yeah. We found in the West Village that there's like a good number of like really good spots within walking distance. So we could just hit one, get a slice, go to the next one, get a slice. Yeah. Are you willing to share what show you saw? Rocky Horror. It was so good. It was so great. We got to see Luke Evans, which was awesome. And Rachel Dratch. Do you think that they'll ever add cross progression? I think that they want to add cross progression. It's just when. Oh, my wife has never seen the movie. So the only thing that she had heard from the show, A, the Tonys performance, but then B, the songs if I played them. Like, that's it, though. It was great. It was so good. I think she would too. I told her we should watch it. I said it might not be the most appropriate thing to show my 14-year-old son. However, you know, he's really into shows. So it might be time. I can never do an impromptu New York trip. It's 16 hours. Oh yeah, okay. I can't do like an impromptu. Let's go to Florida because that's like 16 hours away from me. It's just a jump to the left. When are they going to remove the bone? I believe they're going to remove the bone whenever they they're going to remove the bone whenever they do the conduit stuff. So probably closer to full release. It's not the worst. No, there's way worse. Oh yeah. Or way more inappropriate stuff. I got to do trips to the Space Needle instead. Oh, gotcha. She's really fast together? Oh, I don't know about that. She has played a couple of times, though. I think Horror 2.0 when the phone will be removed. I don't remember. Wait, what? Oh, when the bone. Oh, yeah. Well, now Horror 2.0 is technically just like the full release of the game. So whenever they do full release, that's when all that stuff is getting implemented, if I understand that correctly. Your boyfriend loves Hadestown? My wife, I don't think, she never saw the show, but she really likes the music. I was going to a theater and watching Rock Horror Picture Show, and after we get on stage to act it out. Oh my. Everybody did all the call outs for the movie. Like Rocky Horror has a cult following. And literally, if you watch the DVD, like there's commentary that you can turn on that is those things you normally scream out, and people were screaming them out during the show. And they were interacting with it, which was cool. We've seen Sweeney Todd on Broadway. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it with Josh Groban, but the understudy for him or whoever played was great, was awesome. But yeah, Sweeney Todd was great. That was a good one. Did Kinetics say the Phasmophobia is coming in 10? It's coming to the Switch eventually. Yes. Seemed wicked. Very nice. My 14th birthday was Rocky Horror themed. Oh my God. So maybe good. Was it really? That's pretty cool. Our local drive-in theater does oh, you bastards. Oh, that sounds great. I got to see Tim Curry in his Spamalot performance, which is probably as good as, oh my God. Yeah, I was telling my wife didn't realize like the state, like Tim Curry, like how he's, I don't know exactly what he has, but in the wheelchair and all that stuff, she had no idea. Going to see the theatrical release of 6 next week. Super cool. Wish I could have seen Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could have seen. It's just hard. A Major Stroke. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. One amazing actor. So good. One of the best. My wife, one of her favorite Tim Curry. Like, it's always funny when people say like, it says something about you with what movie or show you think of when you think of like Tim Curry. And I think for me, it was Rocky Horror. And my wife, it was Muppet Treasure Island. It's hard watching our actors grow. It is. It's tough. It is tough. You're right. It is tough. Got to see Phantom. It was an amazing experience. I bet that was cool. Oh, we love Muppet Treasure Island. I've got that one. I've got that movie for sure. Clue? Loved Clue. I think my kids, they would know him because of Home Alone 2. Legend. Three Musketeers? Great. He's such an evil character. The Cardinal. Was he the Cardinal? I can't remember. But still, so many good actors. My God. You just got a pin? Oh, that's cool. He was the Cardinal. Yeah. Yeah, great actors. Such a good movie. Is there a specific show that your son digs the most? He became obsessed with the Stranger Things show. So, like in general. So when we saw that on Broadway, he loved that to death. I'm trying to think if there's another show. He likes Newsies. Newsies he really, really liked. Oh yeah, don't talk about age. You can talk about things from your age, like from the certain times, but don't be like, I'm this age. Don't do that. Yeah. My wife didn't even know that he was the original Pennywise. Man of culture. Yeah, he really likes Jeremy Jordan. He really likes Jeremy Jordan. My wife saw him 2 weeks ago because she went to go see Oh gosh, dang it. Whatever in time. That thing. Yeah, that one. Jonathan Groff was the lead, and then when he left that, then Jeremy Jordan took over. Massive talent. Yeah, huge talent. Yeah, I think he was original in Newsies, if I remember correctly. Tim Curry was also the demon in Legend and the Forest Demon and Ferngully. What the hell is that? I'll have to go back and look through his movie list. Just in Time. There you go. Thank you. What was that? Ferngully's awesome, worth a watch. I don't think I've seen it. All right. Now, question. They've got the knock button, right? There's a way.
That bad? She said what? And you just let... You deserve a day off. You do. I know. Tell me about it.
Is it the knock to do the co-stream? Is that how that works?
Feel like we've grown.
I don't think I've ever actually tried that before.
35 seconds.
I'm asking right now. I've seen an actual co-stream button before. That's right. There's multiple of us that are like, we're new here. We're new. I wonder if it shows up on the left. Hold on, let me refresh this. Yeah, there's the knock thing, but there's like... You collaborate. The knock is for co-streaming?
I'm back. How long we got left? What have you been up to?
I'm just verifying before I do it. I don't want to mess something up.
No. Upside down. And many people died, you said? Wow. What a strange story to bring up. Especially in front of so many people in a waiting room. I'd be embarrassed too. You know this is a gaming showcase, right? You don't need. One time I saw someone co-streaming something, and next to the knock was a co-stream button. Okay, maybe it's something they have to enable on their end. I'm waiting for people that have experience with it. What the hell? What the hell's going on here? What the hell? You're confused? That's okay. You'll in 12 minutes we'll understand. Does the drop down for it allow? This one right here? This just shows like I can put a message to them to knock. Just so you know, Destiny 3 is not going to be announced in this showcase. You can stop spamming that in chat. It's not going to happen. Actually, let's get some Destiny 3s in the chat because it's great to just kind of engage, you know? Destiny 3.
Don't press the red button. Roger that.
Now, okay? But that would be crazy in an independent showcase. Destiny 3 was
before
announced.
I knock to get the co-streaming.
Or Half-Life 3. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they want to do it exactly. I'm not sure. I think they might be checking on their end. We have 11 minutes. It's fine. I think we're getting a response about it now, so it's fine. Give the page a refresh. This is a learning experience for us all. I see knock. I see knock.
These are the games I think are going to appear. The new Super Mario game, for sure. Absolutely. Guys, bear in mind, I haven't seen
Super Mario, let's go.
Okay, so we've got Super Mario, Half-Life 3 for sure. Destiny 3 is coming back, absolutely, because you guys have just spammed that and everyone's been listening to you. Jeff Keighley could never.
Is a showcase about Phasmo or Kinetic? So Kinetic has branched out and has Kinetic Publishing now. which is a way for them to help out other studios to get their games launched. Vic says he's got it. Oh, there it is. Hey, look at that. There we go, friends. Got it. Okay, I don't know what that does now. I'm not exactly sure.
Guys, do you think Phasmophobia 2 is going to show up? Do you think it might? I don't know.
I don't know if it shows something
Phasmophobia
differently.
3? Wow, that's crazy. We're just skipping 2 then. John, I like the way you think. It's insane. And clearly you don't understand how numbers work, but I like you. I like how you think outside the box, John.
Who the hell's John? It lists you as streaming together on our end. Oh, cool. Okay. The narrator? Yeah, great voice. Such a great voice. The numbers keep going up. Oh, they're viewers? Oh, for sure. It's big. Oh, it absolutely will be. Oh, for sure. They must have announced it in the Discord. In the Discord or on socials or something. They must have. Because as of right now, they have 500 followers. Who's John?
Aren't independent games great? You know what? Here's my advice to you. After this, I'm going to tell you some stuff like wish lists and things. Please go and do it. We've worked so hard on it.
Very Stanley. I do like that. I like that too. Voice of Clive in Final Fantasy. There we go. People are ready to rock. 8 minutes, friends. At least we don't have to add a countdown because we literally have one in front of us. A British Alan Wake. I'm cool with that. Phasmophobia by Alan Wake. Using Expedition 33. Very cool. Are the drops here? No, they're not. They're not here yet. No, if you go back and read when the drops are going to be available, it's not till this weekend. Yeah. His voice was so startling when it first came on. You forgot the pause.
So,
what?
This is everything you hoped it would be.
He does sound a little bit like Jason Statham.
A 15-minute countdown timer.
Yeah.
What could we genuinely get done in 15 minutes? Get your minds out of the gutter. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what I am going to do? Do a dance. Wait, watch this.
Who the hell's he talking to?
Great.
Is this pre-recorded or is this guy responding to people in chat? You should add a timer so when we know the stream starts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should have. It's AI Jason Statham. He's responding real time? Who's he responding to? Hold on. He's talking about some guy named John?
Hi,
what does the
I'm
number
Ben
in
Starr,
parentheses
and we're
means?
Once again,
and
for another
typically
check-in just to see how everyone's doing. How are we holding up? How's that countdown going?
chatters are logged in users
Not
and
long
Twitch
to go, I
stream in the
see.
chat room. Click here to refresh. So people that have accounts
just
and they're
keep me
logged
in.
in and they're here and they can chat.
They just lock
Not
me in
just
this room and
opening it
just
up
make me
without
go
logging
again
into
and again
Twitch
and
is
again
typically
and
what it
again.
means.
I used to love video games.
Are they multi?
I used to
Maybe.
love being a
Maybe
part
they,
of
maybe
them.
they have a
But for the
YouTube
past
live
3
stream going
years,
as well.
People have just locked me in small rooms and
We
said,
just want to
"Ben,
know who the hell John
talk
is.
for money." And sometimes, no money. And I just want to leave. But I
Well,
made a
Jack,
deal with
yeah.
the devil at the crossroads.
They might be on
He said,
multiple
"Ben,
platforms. That
we
might
will
be what's
let
going
you
on.
out
How's
of
the
this room
volume for them
only
compared
when
to
you
me?
have said a specific number of
We want it to be a
words,
good
and then
volume,
you
but at the
go.
same time, we don't want it to be
Guys, I'm gonna let you into a
overwhelming or anything
secret.
like that.
I have a lot more words to say. So complain all you want. Ben Starr in this, Ben Starr in that. Oh, he's doing a showcase now. Yes, I am.
Can we do
Because
the
I
theater
literally
mode?
can't leave the room.
I can do the theater mode like this. Volume sounds good? Okay. His name is your name too. What? Sounds good. Good deal. Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. It's Jimmy Hoffa disguised that bastard. Stanley, maybe. Someone had the same idea. John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. That's right. So this showcase is going to be 30 minutes long. And then after the showcase, they're going to run it again for another 30. So if you missed it, you can see it all again. I imagine it's going to be some kind of like a recorded replay kind of thing. I guess. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Not 100% about that, but I guess we will see in due time.
Sharing this past 15 minutes with you has been one of the most meaningful moments of my life. I really thought at the beginning we weren't going to get on. We have, haven't we?
He must be talking to another chat.
Some of us have just stood in the corner with their phones playing Candy Crush, which isn't sponsored by this showcase.
People still play
Candy
Candy Crush.
Independent showcase, and I'm talking about Candy Crush. I spent a huge amount of time talking about Destiny 3, a game that's never going to come out.
Now he's getting a little emotional. I guess so. Dude's losing it. He's out of here. Love the pre-show stuff. It's a great idea. His name is Alan. No, Schmalin. Yeah, we got to give him a different name. Or he's talking to a lot. I don't know. He's talking to somebody. I don't know who though. I believe Candy Crush in here. I think I downloaded the app and tried it once and never played it again.
I really miss the Oregon Trail. When's that going to come back? Oh, not much time left. Let's hope the Oregon Trail turns up in the Kinetic Publishing Showcase. Destiny 3, Half-Life 3, and of course, Phasmophobia 3. Fingers crossed. What do you think's going to turn up?
Well, what do you guys think is going to turn up? What do you want me to suggest in chat? How long have I been a streamer? Like 6 years. Someone already said Phasmo 3. We got to be original. Come on now. All good things come in threes? That's what they say. They will announce FlashForce 2. Oh, no. I'm really screwed at that point.
Let's all do like a group thing to get ourselves into it. Let's all say our favorite duck on 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know ducks. This is dumb. Okay. What?
Probably Fast Ages I need to play
what else
again,
can we
but
say on 3
I
that's
stay
like
at
our
the
favorite
door in
thing?
the van. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ducks. Okay. Swans.
Mallard.
No, it's all very water-based. Geese. Oh God, are there different types of geese, or is it? Yeah. Is there just one goose? Is it we like goose, or do we like types
Mallard,
of goose?
Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck's a good one.
This isn't working. Ben, God, they're relying on you. You've got to fill time, and you're talking about geese in a public showcase. It's got nothing to do with games. Think of games. You tell people that you like games all the time. You say you play games.
Gaggle of geese. I know.
Okay, don't crumble under the pressure. Say something.
Oh, Howard the Duck.
So people
Damn.
will understand that you
I haven't
like
heard
games.
the name
Okay,
Howard the Duck in
3,
ages.
2, 1. Oh, who's excited for GTA 6? Damn it!
Okay.
Damn it!
I wasn't sure where this was going.
Everyone knows that game.
Howard the Duck. Great movie. Such a good movie. All right. Less than 2 minutes, friends. And then we'll see what this is about. We have no idea. That was a groan. That was a groan in 2/3, if you ask me. Hey, what's up, Termix? We are about to watch the first showcase for Kinetic Publishing. Obviously, Kinetic Games, creators of Phasmophobia, have created Kinetic Publishing, a branch of their tree, if you will, a way for them to help other studios, game makers get their games launched. So I imagine that we're going to be getting more information about that here. This is live, so it's going to be a 30-minute showcase. No idea what we're going to see. We haven't been given a list. We don't know how many games, how many studios are involved. Are they helping only certain types of games? Are they helping everybody? Are they helping other horror games? You know what I mean? I don't know. I do not know. Coco, thank you for the 17 months. RP Gentleman. RP Gentleman. Excited for all the new things coming to Phas. Dude, thank you for the 8 months. Good to see you, man. Kinetic is publishing. Give us a sign for legal reasons. This is a joke. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Get your ranch soda and popcorn and settle in. How do I open a not physical door and kick someone out of it? Excited for a proper FNAF World 2 announcement. Aren't they actually
And now the
making a
10-second countdown
FNAF
sponsored
restaurant?
by Ben Starr. 10, 9,
Following
8,
program is intended for mature
7,
audiences. Viewer discretion is
6,
advised. This program
5,
contains flashing
4,
imagery.
3,
That's me!
2, 1, go.
Game on.
Hello, I'm Ben Starr. Welcome to the very first Kinetic Publishing Showcase.
Do you like full screen or do you want the chat?
Publishing is a new independent publishing label born from Kinetic Games, created to help exceptional developers bring their games to players around the world. We believe great games can come from anywhere, from debut creators taking their first steps into development, to established independent studios ready to reach even greater heights. What matters is the vision, creativity, and passion. That's the spirit Kinetic Publishing was built to support. And over the next little while, we'll be taking you on a journey around the world to meet the first incredible developers who joined us. You'll discover new worlds, new stories, new ideas, and the first batch of games we're proud to welcome into the Kinetic Publishing family.
I like the animations.
These are developers daring to create something special. These are games we believe players everywhere should experience. And this is only the beginning.
I'm just curious what kind of games we're going to see.
Let's get started. First stop, the UK and Contact Protocol from Cold Zephyr Games.
In Contact Protocol, you play as the security officer on the starship Pale Horse. It's a corporate ship carrying miners to Ganymede.
It's basically Papers, Please in space. That's how we describe it to new people. It's more than that, though. Like, we've kind of tried to
What's
build
the other game
on
that's
what
like
Lucas
this?
Pope kickstarted back
The
when we did
green
Papers,
one.
Please.
You'll come across other ships. You won't really know who they are. They will tell you things
The one
about
where you check
them,
the door.
and based on that, you need to make the decision about not just whether you trust if they are who they say they are.
That's not my neighbor.
But if they're lying, if you trust them not to fire at you, try and kill you.
Maybe they are smuggling, maybe they're hiding something, maybe their data is just wrong. You can choose what to do. You don't have to follow protocol, but you have to make a decision whether to let them pass.
If you decide that you don't trust
makes
them,
me think of That's Not
your
My
only
Neighbor.
recourse is to load a torpedo and fire it, killing everyone on board.
Am I Human? Is that what it is? I'm going to have to look this up now.
It's a cerebral game, so there is a lot of like data checking and a lot of doing things right, but also a lot of human decisions. Like, you have to do things that maybe aren't the right or wrong thing to do, and it's up to debate whether it's the right or wrong thing to do. It's kind of what the whole game's built around. How far can you trust a stranger? When you meet these other ships and you're going to pass by, they'll tell you things that sometimes
I'm not a human.
explain the situation.
That's the
but
game I
can't
was
be
thinking of.
mechanically proven against the data you have. Like, oh, someone back at headquarters messed up our
That's
score.
what I was
We know it's
thinking
wrong.
of.
Don't worry about it. But technically, you shouldn't let them pass because it's not correct information.
It's
They
got
have to
that
have correct
vibe.
Information.
When you see a ship approaching, they
The
will send
artistry.
you their information, you will send them yours. You will
And again, a
cross-check their
cat.
information against solar maps, against your notes, against corporate policy and intelligence that you've gathered from other ships.
If it's matching, great. If it's not, you have to ask why. If they're missing data, you have to ask for more. All the while, the other ship is making a decision about you as well. So it's a possibility that they may escalate.
So you have to prioritize. Do you spend time checking their information? Do you reassure them about your identity? Where do you place your effort and time? Time is a significant factor. As the other ship approaches, the distance decreases, they become clearer in your camera,
this is
and
not
more
that they
information
didn't
becomes
create this
available to you,
game.
but their weapons become more and more dangerous. It becomes harder and harder to avoid getting hit by a torpedo.
What's up,
and
Rob?
the
Welcome in.
communications delay between you, which at the start acts as a little buffer, giving you thinking time, starts
how it
to
sounds pretty
fade
cool
away
so
to
far.
nothing.
So I think the core design
Had you
principle
papers,
for
please?
why we're making a tense game like this and how we're building the tension is the
Ooh, that's
premise that humans don't cope well under cognitive load.
Cognitive load is basically the brain power required to complete a task. In Contact Protocol, we've engineered the game cruelly so that the moment you have to make a moral decision, we have ramped up the cognitive load as much as possible, so you are least able to make a decision
Is that a
that you might be
G502?
happy with.
That resource is used to make mechanical decisions, but also emotional ones, like moral decisions. So if you're heavily data checking and fact checking stuff,
How does this
you don't
relate to
have a lot
Phas?
of
Literally the
bandwidth
entire
to also
point of
do
this
the right
entire
as a
thing
human,
is
and then
kinetic
those things clash,
publishing.
and like that beautiful
As in
like,
they
glitch
are
in the human
helping
brain,
other
that's what Nick
developers,
is in love with, and
game
decided to go
makers
make a game about.
get their game published.
Every time you destroy
Yeah,
a ship,
it's not
you'll get
related to
information
Phas
about
at
that
all.
ship, including the amount of people on board, and the game will tell you at the end how many people you ended up killing. You may end up in a situation where another ship has already loaded a torpedo because the situation in the solar system is so threatening based on your actions.
So when you're done with an encounter, you go to
like
the
the art.
downtime, which is
The
kind
art
of
is
like
good.
your personal quarters. It's kind of a relaxed space. Nothing bad is going to happen there, but that is the point in which you talk to the other characters on your ship.
There's 6 of them. You can sort of figure out who they are and get to know them, maybe make friends and make enemies.
They're going
And
way
then
more
when all
in
that's
depth
done,
with the
you go to
game than
sleep
I
and the
thought
ship
they
comes
would
past,
have.
Then the game is into the stressful stuff.
In the
But you
very
notice it's
first
got like
version of the
the-
game, we didn't
like
have
the
any
No, I'm
downtime
Not a Human, where you go into
Players
the
actually found
rooms,
it a little
you know
bit
what I mean?
torturous because the tension was too much.
So everything in the game is hand drawn by me. I really started to find a style that
We
really
need to
fits
show
the game
off.
of kind of loose, intense
90s point and
brush
click with modern art,
strokes.
yeah.
I was inspired a lot by Disco Elysium, which I discovered after I started making the game. Whenever I'm feeling stuck on a drawing or getting too tight, I remember to bring out my inner Disco Elysium and just make it a little bit more insane.
Something called cassette futurism. It's very much based on the look and feel of Alien. All of the consoles, the clicky switches, how everything
Very
whirs
modest about
and
the work.
clatters.
Looks really nice.
The Alien series also has this kind of grime that comes with it, which we also really wanted to capture and bring into the experience of the player.
We
so
will
that
see.
Everything feels used and old and a
I
bit.
think as a Canadian partner to get early
Disgusting.
access to some of these new games. I wouldn't count on it.
I'm excited to see people deal with the consequences of their actions.
I would
the game's
assume no.
designed so that everything you do is remembered. You will affect your crew. You'll make friends with some of them and enemies with some of them, and you will blow up ships that maybe you didn't mean to because you were under that high stress. Like, I really want to see people
Riding if
struggle
anything
with
happens
that.
to the cat.
That's
Cat
the fun
looks
part
kinda
when people
jacked
play
up
test it.
already.
You're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know what I was doing.
We've got a demo up on Steam now. We've been
I
really
don't know.
excited by different things
Stunt
players have
Mama,
done
thank
in
you for
that
the
demo,
raid. Hello,
decisions
friend.
they've made.
How are
We're
you?
really excited to see what decisions you make. So
We
head
are
on to
just
Steam
checking
now
out some
and
of the
check it out.
games that Kinetic Publishing is helping push forward. But hi, friend, how's it going? Oh my God!
Contact
and
Protocol
Unwell.
will be the very first
Unwell
title
Beauty.
launched by
Thank you so
Kinetic
much for the
Publishing,
raid.
set to arrive in spring 2027. If you're as excited
All right,
about it
Xbox,
as we are,
Steam,
you
PS5,
can try the
and
free
Switch
demo
2,
available now on
all in
Steam.
spring of next year.
Just be careful who you pass in the space lanes.
Look, there's their publishing thing.
Staying in
Ew.
the UK, it's time to grab your motor broom and discover what it means
Motor
to find
broom?
home. Here's Crescent County from Electric Saint.
Oh, interesting. Very different vibe.
So in Crescent County, you play as Lou. You've moved to the Isle of
I
Moore
wonder
under
how
kind
they
of
got in touch
mysterious
with these different
circumstances,
studios.
and
You know?
fall in with a group.
Like, how
of
do they
motor broom
decide which ones to
riders
work
after
with?
you take your cousin's motor broom out for a spin, and it breaks.
Miss Kinetic was doing this. Yeah,
So you
they've
need to
been.
earn some money,
It's only
right?
been
So
so
you start
long that
making
Kinetic
deliveries
Publishing
by
has been a
day,
thing.
and you're street racing your new friends and crushes by night on a witch tech rural island, kind
Much
of
more
set
like
in the
uppy,
UK,
positive
But if
vibes.
it was magic.
I love their hair.
It's a game that's inspired very much by Kiki's Delivery Service, but if Kiki's Delivery Service kind of had the bikes of Akira. It's stylized, it's painterly, it's full of heart, it's based off
Makes
my
me think of
illustrations,
Wipeout series. Oh my
and
God,
it's
Wipeout.
all about finding a place and what it means
Unwell,
to find
Stunt
home.
Mama, thank you guys so much. Any games look
The
like a must?
racing in Crescent County
first game we
is
saw
very
looked
much
pretty cool.
something that you do hanging out with your friends. It's not
The first
time
one we saw looked pretty
trials,
cool,
it's
so
not
I'm interested to see what else they're gonna
leaderboards, it's
show today.
something that is very much inspired by my background in roller skating and the culture of roller derby. You can be competitive, but also when you're just skating with your friends,
Wasn't there a
everyone
game
wants
back
to
in
have
the day that
fun
was
when you're
literally a
doing
roller
this.
derby game?
That's something that from the top we really wanted to make sure was coming through. It's a subculture, it's something that people are passionate about, and we also want it to
is
feel
very
approachable.
whimsical.
You're getting off the broom, you're exploring an island, you're making deliveries, you jump back on the broom, your friends are like, hey, do you want to have a race? It's about hanging out and having fun, but also having some really high octane gameplay. Crunchy, drifting,
Your daughter
going
does derby?
through
Let's go.
boosts, gliding, and jumping off of like really big
Do you get the
cliffs
fast
to
app
do
for
big
this? No,
jumps.
they
It's
never
great
said that it
fun,
was for
and
today.
I
It's
want
for this
to
weekend.
Make sure that people are getting a good amount of blood pumping racing there too. One of my big inspirations
people-
for quest design and the
Wonder how many people are on this, 'cause right now they've
varying tone
only
of the
showed
different things they're
them.
going to be doing is actually Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've been consumed by that game, but I absolutely adore how it will
Didn't go far at all.
subvert your
I remember it not being,
expectations
like, the
even
most
when you have
popular
a really
game
simple
ever.
job that you need to tackle. There's always something weird that ends up happening to Henry, and that's a really big inspiration
Jealous of their setup.
for how we're approaching quests. For example, you might be asked to take a parcel of records from one person to another, but actually it's because
Yeah,
they're
but
going
you
through
gotta
a
make sure
breakup
whenever you see that
and
stuff pop
they
up that you look
change
at
their
what
mind
dates it's
mid-delivery
for.
and say, you know
Yeah.
what, chuck those records in a pond. So the romances within Crescent County happen alongside all of the action. I grew up playing Dragon Age, and it's something that I think just makes them
Probably
even
not my vibe
more
of a game.
juicy
It's super
and
cool, though.
fun when you've got
Probably not something I'll play.
romances occurring alongside all sorts of like crunchy gameplay.
It looks really cool though. Oh my god, did that kiss him on the
I'm
mouth?
an
What the hell?
illustrator and a concept artist. That's, you know, my bread and butter within
said
the
noon
games
today.
industry. And I
Did it?
just got
Where did it say
completely
noon today?
obsessed with this idea of witch tech. I was really drawn to creating this bright, stylized world
Cute game.
that
Really
people
cool
could
looking
get
game.
lost in,
I like the
but
palette.
also grounding it in magical realism and my own lived experience. I moved to
Wife
the
will do
Isle
this
of Wight
100%.
for my first games job,
Better
and
than
it was
mixtape.
a really formative experience. That sense of getting to know a place deeply and building these
Yeah, they're
memories in these
focusing
different,
really- they're
parts
focusing
of
a lot on the
town.
artist, for
It's a
sure.
time that I look back on really, really warmly.
What's at noon?
And I wanted to
Nothing?
explore that, you know, within a video game, but you know, with like cool sci-fi fantasy motorbike brooms.
Motorbike brooms.
I started Electric Saint with my friend Pavle back in 2022 with the goal of making Crescent County a reality. So we announced the game in 2024 to amazing
Mixed it up.
reception. People were really excited. We got fan art. We got to start building our community.
Always good to double check, friend.
With that in mind, we ramped up to our Kickstarter in 2025. It was just such a wonderful moment.
I wonder
of
if
the community coming
came
together.
over to the
I
States.
am eternally grateful to
I don't remember
our
seeing them.
Kickstarter
I was gonna say, I
backers
wonder if they
for
came
giving
over
us
and
the
were at,
permission
like,
and
PAX or anything
opportunity
like
to
that.
make this a reality. So the team working on Crescent County is
The
pretty
brooms being a
tiny.
motorbike is really
It's
neat. It is a
about
super cool idea.
5
Yeah.
to 7 of us. It's a small team, but it's a very, very passionate team.
There we go. There's the team.
If Underground Motorbroom Street Racing sounds like your vibe, please follow us on social media. I'm incapable
Can't
of
imagine
not
them being
showing
that many
what
in the
we're working
showcase
on,
if they're going to
and
that much
give
detail.
Crescent
I
County a
assume the
wish
same.
list on Steam.
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5.
A huge
My
thank you
guess.
to Anna and the whole team at Electric Saint for a closer look at their Witch Tech adventure.
Their website. It
Wishlist
does. Yeah,
the
that's
game
right.
now and get ready to ride off into the
Again,
sunset with us when Crescent
Steam,
County
PS,
launches
Xbox,
in summer
Epic Store,
2027.
and Switch
All right,
next year.
now from the UK to Germany. Time to meet the Fake Lobster team and introduce you to Shellbound.
Ooh, side scroll. Let's go. Is there a demo? I don't know. We'll have to go look on Steam and see if they've released anything.
Shellbound is a Metroidvania on a big-ass snail. And you're a parasite in that world that can control enemies and use your abilities for combat, platforming,
It's
and
giving
exploration. And puzzles.
Oh man.
So our game
what
is
game
set on
this
a bigger
reminding me
snail
of?
because we always
Hollow
knew the
Knight
best marketing phrase of
and-
a living world. We
Those are
thought,
really, like,
okay, our
whimsical
game should really be a
side-scroller.
literally living world. And also, a big-ass turtle was already taken, so it is
Same
a
as
snail.
elephants, same as
That's-
elephants.
That's true. And also, snails are just f***ing weird and awesome. We love them.
We are
Ori,
literally
that's
on a
what I'm
living
thinking of.
creature that moves around,
Yes.
that has a heartbeat, that breathes, and every single instance of this
It makes me think of
biology
Ori.
of the
Yeah.
snail also affects the gameplay that we are trying to achieve.
For instance, the giant heart. There's a big machine built around that heart that actually transfers that heartbeat
We're a
into
parasite
electric
on a
energy.
snail?
And there's a
It's the
point
word
where
on the
you can
street.
actually control that heart and therefore control the electricity on the snail.
So one big disclaimer we absolutely have to address right now is the art style, because everything you see in the video is still a work in progress. So what we are doing right now is actually a complete revamp of the art style that we feel tells the story and therefore also represents the game in a much better way.
We need like a revamped, like
We love Metroidvanias, and that's also the reason when it came to say, hey, do you want to make a game?
Slim,
the first
whatever.
initial idea, let's do a Metroidvania.
Are drops
And
enabled?
There was
No,
never
they never
another
said there would
option
be
for us
drops
because
for
that
today.
was just the games we grew up with playing the most.
We love Metroidvanias, but there are always some aspects that actually annoyed us, like backtracking in a way, and we just want to improve on that and just create a Metroidvania that we really want to play. So one mechanic that really changes the
Earthworm Jim would
Metroidvania
be
formula
awesome.
is our parasitizing system. You're a parasite, that means you can infest and control enemies and use their abilities. And you can use that for basically everything. For combat, platforming, for exploration, puzzle solving, for everything. And this really does two things. You don't have just the classics like double jump and dash and whatever. You have all the abilities of the enemies as well. And the second thing
that's
is
cool.
we are resolving strict ability gating. Because a lot of Metroidvanias have that
As a
form
parasite, you have the
sequence,
ability
how
to
you
get
can progress in the game.
to get the
And in
enemy's
our case,
abilities
you
too,
can
which
really
is pretty neat.
circumvent ability gating by using the abilities of the enemies.
Build a little bit of sequence breaking maybe in there.
So yeah, intentional and unintentional.
Exactly. Another system that directly ties into the parasitizing system is our enemy evolution system.
Makes you think
For
of
every single
Rayman.
enemy
Oh
type
man, I haven't
that
played
you
Rayman in
encounter in the
ages.
game, if you kill enough instances of that one enemy type, they will evolve into a stronger and potentially even completely different kind of enemy type. For instance, we have a maggot enemy type in there, which like doesn't do anything. It wiggles around, maybe attacks you, jumps down on you. But if you kill that certain enemy type enough of times, eventually every single instance will evolve into a different form. In this case, a flying enemy. So in that case, now you have completely new abilities when it comes to parasitizing, because now you can go into that flying enemy and see,
That's a
okay,
cool
what
progression.
areas can I now explore? What attacks can I use? Are there different kinds of puzzle that I maybe
Character
can
reminds
solve
you of Stitch.
that I
A little
couldn't
bit. The
because
look of
I
it,
was
yeah.
just had that maggot?
So on top of all these mechanics, we also
I like
have
the
biome
progression for the
evolution, and
game,
that
how
really
like
brings
it
everything
gets
together.
harder, but at the same time that allows
All
you
biomes can
for more
change over
opportunity
time
to try
through
new
story progression,
things,
but also
like
through
with
your
the
actions.
flying enemies.
And one example for that would be the Mucus Garden. The Mucus Garden is a vibrant jungle-like
The hell is
biome,
a giant-ass
really
squid?
lush, really full of life, but it can go completely dead and barren. It's not only looking different, but also the whole structure changes. The areas you can go to.
Yeah, it does
And
have
with
a
that,
Hollow
we
Knight
actually
feel to it for
get rid
sure.
of stale and boring backtracking, because backtracking in our game always brings you something new. Yeah, you go to a biome you already have been through 10 times, but this time the whole biome has changed. The enemies have changed through enemy evolution. The whole thing is really new, and backtracking actually gets fun. We created that bonkers idea of a world on a snail with only 3 people, but the crazy thing is we found along the way other weird people who actually believe that this bonkers idea could make a great game and really work out in the end. So right now we are
9 weird people making a build game on a big ass snail.
Yeah. We are really excited to ramp up production on Shellbound.
So, if you want to know more about what's happening on this big ass snail,
Like this one, it
follow and
seems
join
like
us
it
on
could be a
Discord and
cool,
on Steam.
I'd say
Wishlist.
chill game, but I don't
bless
know
you,
how
my dear.
chill
Thank you.
it's going to be.
See you there.
Shellbound.
Ah, fake lobster. You had me from the mention of the world creating giant
There is a
snail.
playtest for that currently.
Shellbound
Oh,
is
cool.
set to release
Okay.
in 2028.
You literally can play that right now. Well, you
now
know,
let's
in
head away
progress.
from Germany and all the way to Thailand. Say hello to Vonda Games and their debut title, Ether: Wizard Life.
Well, this is a cool art style.
Ether Wizard Life is a cozy life simulation game where every wizard having a unique kind of magic after graduating from the Wizard Academy.
The game itself has the dual dynamics between the cozy simulations and also
Where did they say this one was
adventure
located?
combat in the game. So each morning when players wake up in their beds in their castles, they get to select which quest they want to complete.
Along the way,
Thailand?
they can explore the dungeons, build potions,
Thailand. Thank you.
run the tavern, date other wizards,
The first game also has a demo.
and
Very
build a
cool.
castle of their own.
Ooh, might have to try that demo then for that first game. It's a mix of side-scrolling minigame. Yeah, I wonder how many different companies, studios have reached out to them.
We got inspiration from American Horror Story Coven. There's a secret organization behind which trial that's still ongoing from the past, and that is kind of like similar to what happens in our game. There are like ongoing kidnapping of wizards to burn them and then strip off their power and then return the wizard back to the town without spirits. Players need to find out who is behind the event of the wizard burning that is ongoing in the town of
Steam page for
Starfall.
Kinetic Publishing has a few games listed for upcoming. Oh, okay. I thought it was just to submit. I didn't realize that they listed a few of the games on there.
It's really
I'll have to go
old,
check
like there are lots of ruins there. The players can use their spells and their magic to rebuild the whole place. You can collect the blueprints and then you
Again,
can
this is another one like
farms on your own.
It's not really my vibe.
We have
Not usually my type of game.
Players can design the whole
But
layout
another one that
of where
looks
to
cool,
put
though.
the buildings surrounding the castle itself. For example, you can build lots of fields, you can build stables to care for your exotic magical creatures.
Reminds you of the old Final Fantasy style games.
I think I would say
know
it's
what it reminds
about
me of.
interacting with the spirits for each NPCs. When you see like the characters in the game, you're going to see that each wizard has their own spirits. And that's how we designed the game to be quite unique. And like these spirits represents the
I like
magic
watching
that
the
they have,
animation.
like the
Like
specialty,
I
the
like
mastery
watching
of the
how
magic
they
that
create
have.
it. That's always a really cool thing.
As a player,
See,
you
have
get
a good
to
one.
forage a lot of items. For example, when you go into the dungeons and you can like pick
Feels
up the
Maple
mandrake,
Story-ish.
you collect like slimes from the cave itself.
What game do you play in your
There's
own
like a
time?
portion shop
Anything
in the
different to
center
what
of
you
the
stream?
town,
I typically
and that's like how
play
you earn a lot of money
offline,
from
similar
the
stuff to what I play
Sandrash,
online,
like the wish
like on
who
stream.
like run this portion
Usually.
shop. The
Unless
customer
I'm playing
might come
games with
in and, like,
kiddos.
they have a personal problem in their
That's a
daily
different story.
life,
We'll do
and they
Jackbox
need a
and we'll do
portion,
other stuff
for
like that as a
example, love
family.
portion. We can just collaborate with Cassandra to come up with that portion and sell to
Love
her.
making pixel art. That's
We love the aspect of Tavern. This guy, his name is Orwell. He's like kind of like a Viking wizard. He obsessed with the elements of the monsters and turned them into delicious meals. Like he cooked the weird menu like a capybara steak or like a slime
Capybara
soup.
steak,
Lots
let's
of
go.
like weird menus that he can come up with. I think the player is going to enjoy discovering each of the new dishes, the weird personality that he has to offer.
skill
We
checks.
have many inspirations for our game. It's come from the love for Studio
Reminds you of
Ghibli's
the old
animations
Kingdom
because I
Hearts
grew up
mobile game.
with all the animations, not just House Moving Castle. We also loved Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro as well. So we kind of like want to build a game that has
Jackbox
this
awesome. I'm
that
playing.
vibe.
You don't know Jack for
We love
decades,
cozy games.
dude.
So
I remember playing
titles
those a long time
definitely
ago.
Stardew Valley inspired us. Dave the Diver.
Yeah,
and
this game is a
Spiritfarer.
lot
When I first played
of
Dave the
stuff.
Diver, I spent like days playing without breaking. Like it's really, really addictive. As for Spiritfarer, we really like the connection that players can feel. With
A lot of
NPCs they
exploration.
have. That's what we try to capture
Different
in the game.
skills like cooking and things like that. Kind of a couple games mixed into one.
We spent years trying to come up with this type of art direction that we have right now. If you go back
Getting
to see
Final
our
Fantasy
Kickstarter campaign,
Tactics
you're going to
kind
see
of
a lot
vibes.
of artworks in there. It's look totally different from what we have right now. We kind of want to make sure that like all the pieces in the games are hand-drawn by our artists. And so we're really proud of the art style that we have right now, because when we see that it's really different from other games that we have seen in the market.
Love when you see that it's all hand drawn.
I
Gotta
think
love
we are
that.
the first game who launched Kickstarter campaign from
Love
Thailand.
the art style. Yeah,
we
it's super
hope
cool.
to set a good example for Thai developers that you can release a title that can resonate with the global audience as well. After
It would be just neat to learn
released
any
on
of this.
Kickstarter, we see a few more Thai games release the campaign on Kickstarter as well.
Yeah, hand
I
drawn.
think players who
is so
expect
cool to watch.
play the game that are heavily inspired by Studio Ghibli's animation, and those who like cozy games where you can sit back and relax, will enjoy this game very much.
Ether Wizard Live is on Steam.
Makes you appreciate the craft even
Please
more.
Go
Yeah.
wishlist now.
Very cool.
Ether Wizard Life is also set for a 2028 launch and will be
All
a
of
cozy
these
adventure that's well worth the wait.
Coming out on all platforms.
Finally,
all of them.
from Thailand to the USA, it's time to introduce the next game
All
from
around the world,
Sam
too, which is
Barlow
super cool.
and his award-winning studio, Half Mermaid.
Precognition is a sci-fi horror project coming to you from the minds of Sam Barlow and Brandon Cronenberg.
You play as a character called Diana. She has had an implant put in her brain, and a marvelous side effect of this implant is she's now receiving visions of her own future.
Making a game like Precognition has been a natural evolution of what we did on Immortality, but we've really been trying to test the limits of non-linear storytelling.
Personal effects. We have a real focus on the game feel and player agency and freedom. So in Immortality, we have this magical match cut feature. So it allowed you to almost put together your own film and create this narrative where you jump from point to point, you're jumping around time and space, finding these connections.
The same magic that powers this.
I love the real footage idea. I always love that.
If you sit someone down to play one of our games, within the first few
Immortality.
minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, everyone is off in a different direction. And with Precognition, we want to kind of take that to the next level. From the very beginning, you are seeing through Diana's eyes. And then once the experiment begins and Diana starts receiving these visions, which for her, she
show some of the gameplay.
Organizes as memories, right? These are memories of the future she hasn't yet lived. She is able to experience this vision and then focus and concentrate on a moment and commit that to memory. And immediately on doing that, the future changes.
If you're not familiar with our previous games, Immortality, Sam's game Her Story, Telling Lies, this might look very different from what you expect
this
as
is
a
a
video
different
game. You might have a notebook on your desk as you're playing. You might be furiously trying to cross-examine clips and understand, what am I really seeing?
Yeah,
and what
Immortality
am I
and Precognition
that really
are two
is the
different
experience
things.
of playing something like Precognition.
My name is Brandon Cronenberg. I'm a primarily horror film director. I've made 3 feature films, Antiviral, Possessor, and Infinity Pool. And I'm the filmmaker outsider who was brought in kind of for fun to collaborate on the writing. So I was involved with Sam and his team on the story, and I wrote
kind of for fun, he
with
said.
us wanting to kind of plant a flag in this being like a really pure sci-fi horror. We were like, who out there would be a good collaborator for this? And so we kind of did this process of speed dating horror directors. And I think Brandon was the one who, straight out the gate, we sparked with. He'd already played Her Story and Immortality, so he kind of understood the game.
The footage is really cool.
Horror films
like, it's filmed really well.
Have made up to this point tend to be very subjective. You know, they're very experiential, where you're really.
What I missed, they have gone over a few of the games that they are going to be, or studios that they're helping
part of the experience
get
of the
to a
horror.
full
The world
release, which a lot of them seem like next year.
Being dependent on their psychology.
And we're on, I think, the last one.
It kind of slotted neatly into this game because, again, it's a very subjective experience.
I'm gonna have to mark that down.
We've proven that there is an appetite for these things that are a bit more complex, a bit darker, a bit stranger, but also the idea of it's always about the freedom that you as a player have to explore the story.
This one feels
to
like
feel
it's.
like you're making the
These
story
feel like
happen
they're
in a way that's unique to you.
Down our
have that
alley.
be the mission statement.
To keep up to date with Precognition, follow us on Blue Sky at halfmermaid.co, or even better, wishlist the game on Steam today.
So it sounds like Kinetic is going to be helping get them further along.
Half Mermaid and Brandon Cronenberg are collaborating to bring
spring of 2028. This one's really early. Okay.
And there you have it.
That's why.
5 incredible
it's
games.
that's why that
5
Steam page
talented
is pretty
independent
empty.
developers, all creating amazing experiences and worlds. Each of the games you saw today are currently available to wishlist. Just scan the QR code on screen
the other
now
4
to do so.
are
You can
coming out
also
next
stay up
year.
to date with all the
Precognition's
games we
coming out in
showed today
2028.
and more by heading to the Kinetic Publishing website. I've been self-professed lover of indie games Ben Starr. This was the first ever Kinetic Publishing Showcase. Thank you for joining us.
Well, what do we think? What games are you guys excited for? They seem pretty cool. The art, I love the hand-drawn artistry for these games. That's super neat. I'm excited to see
Hello
where
everyone, thank you so
precognition
much for
goes.
watching. This is Ben Starr. You heard me in the thing that I just narrated. I said my name quite a few times, and I like independent video games. We're about to run that again. So if there are any games in there you just thought, oh, that's a saucy bit of content, well, you get to see it again. This time with added dramatic irony.
Love the art. Wizard's Life sounds cool for me. It's interesting to see how many different types of genres people will play. It's cool to see somebody that will play horror, but then will completely 180 and go do some like cozy, like cutesy style game. It's cool to see. Oh, look, there's Dave. A little bit late, but they're going to run this again if you're going to watch it again. I'm not going to watch this again. Obviously, we just did. But they're about to do it again for another 30.
Hello, I'm Ben Starr.
Welcome
to the very first.
We know you're Ben Starr. We know. We heard it earlier. But yeah. So that's pretty cool, man. Now let me check. Hold on. Let me go. Let me do this real fast. Let me do this. Kinetic Games. I got to keep my eye on the time too, because I will have to go pick up my child. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So also, if you guys go to the Kinetic Games, if you go to the Kinetic Games website and you go to publishing, now there's a little tab. You can't see it there. Shit. I'll do this. There's a little tab where it says pitch to us. If you're a part of a studio and you kind of want to see if you can get them to jump on board and help you guys out. Or you go to games, and when you go to games, proud to publish, and then it shows those games that we literally just saw. So if you're unsure, you don't remember what it was, here they are. Drops aren't working. Correct, because there are no drops right now. Yeah, they didn't say there were any drops today. They said there'll be drops this weekend. So the two that I'm very interested in getting more information about is Contact Protocol and Precognition. This one sounds cool. This one sounds really cool. Precognition. Oh, the trailer is just, it's that thing we saw. Oh, okay. I was curious to see what else they had about it. Yeah, they just added the games tab. I imagine they were waiting until they got the showcase started. So it's there now. But now you can see all of them. Contact Protocol, Aether Wizard Life, Shellbound, Crescent County, and Precognition. So all very cool. These two are definitely our kind of vibe for sure. This one was neat. Just a cool idea with the broomsticks. The artistry, we like that one. Yeah, they all looked really cool though. I like it, man. I dig. 3 of the games are 2028. Oh shit. I thought that those were 2020. I'm a liar. So I thought that a few of them, I thought that like 4 of them were coming out in 2027. That's a lie. You have Contact Protocol and Crescent County that are coming out next year. The Aether, Shellbound, and Precognition, all 3 of those are not coming out until 2028. But these ones we have some more info on. This one, it looks like we're still getting information. So the developer has a website. You can go there, get more information too. See what they're about. If you want to get hired, I don't know if you know how to do some stuff and things. What the fuck? Shellbound and Crescent County look like fun. Oh my God. What the hell did we tap into? Hold on. Was Immortality is the one I wanted to look up on Steam, right? That's the one with like the real footage. That one came out in 2022. It does. Marissa Marcel was a film star. She made 3 movies, but none of the movies were ever released. And Marissa Marcel disappeared. An interactive trilogy from Sam Barlow, creator of Her Story. Interesting. Precog probably takes a lot of time to film. I can only imagine. Man, well, that game has been released, so we might have to check that one out. That does sound cool. I love the idea of it being okay. No. I love the idea of it being actual footage. That part I like. All right, let me get out of the screen. Well, friends, that's going to be it for today. Well, sorry, that's going to be it for now. I am going to be live later. There's a possibility we might be doing Peak later because Peak has released, I believe, its last large update, and the last they added the new biomes, if I understand that correctly. So let's go raid, shall we? It's going to be Peak. Ugh, yuck. I try to stay up all night. Nice. I am going to go say hi to my child, aka go pick him up. Peak Procs chat's top tier. I love it, man. One of my favorite moments I've ever experienced in that game was Vinland getting taken by one of the tornadoes, and we could hear his voice like a Doppler effect as he went around and got thrown away. Oh my God. That was one of my absolute favorite moments. It was so funny. Oh, that was the best. I loved it so much. It was so funny. So I don't know. We'll see, man. I might get a couple of friendos to see if they want to join me tonight. For it. So yeah, we'll see, dude. I am streaming later today. Yeah. Say hi to my child. I will. From chat. I'll say chat says hi. Say hi back or else. All right. Let me close this down. Close that down. Anybody that was curious about... Wait, hold on. Do I have this over here? Hold on. There it is. Drops are happening this weekend. So if you look down, August 14th to August 17th, that is when you guys are going to have the ability to earn this hat. And that's by watching any Phasmophobia stream. Okay? Yeah. You answer, no, you're good, Error. You're fine. No worries. So 14th to the 17th. And if I understand the timing of it correctly, it starts technically on Friday at like 7 in the morning. What time tonight for stream? Normal, like 8:30 p.m. Eastern, for sure. There's a possibility we might stream earlier that day, but we know that we're streaming later on Friday for sure. That's definitely going to happen. So yeah, you guys get to earn a black hat. Maybe I can get my own little kinetic hat, huh? All right. So again, that will be this weekend. That does not happen now. It is this weekend. Okay. All right. Let me make sure we don't get any more raids. Well, let's stop raids for an hour. I think Tom said Friday, 7 a.m., Monday, 7 p.m. To Monday, 7 p.m. Thank you, Servano. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Was there a word on this month's update? Oh yeah. That's the first thing that we went over today was about this month's update. Yeah. Yeah. August 25th is when we're getting the next quality of life update. Yes, sir. You know what? Hold on. Let me mute this. That's muted. Good deal. Let's go say hi. I haven't rated this friendo in quite a long time, but they're an awesome Phasmo creator. All right. We got a friendo who's playing some Phasmo, so that's where I'm going to take you guys. Thank you guys so much for the awesome freaking stream. Great to see you guys early, friends. Appreciate you. The Discord link is in chat. So are the rest of the socials. I'll be live later tonight, probably with Peak. More than likely with Peak. I think the odds are ever high that it probably will be. Carrie, thank you, friend. Mimi, thank you. Sid, thank you so much for being here. Servano, Splat. There's the raid messages. If you're a follower, that's for you. If you're a sub, that's for you. Creepy Tears 3, that's for you. I'm going to go pick up my child and then work on stuff. I need to work on a thumbnail. I've got my early Phasmo, like my new player-friendly Phasmo video that I'm going to try to put out today. I'll probably work on that whenever I get home with the kiddo. It's basically ready to rock. I just have to make a thumbnail for it. So pay attention to the YouTubes if you're especially a new player. Yeah. What's Peak? Oh, it's a great game about climbing and trying not to die. And a really fun game. It's a really fun friend game to play. Lots of fun interaction. Yeah. All right, friends. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.